welcome to another edition of All Ball Chicago. I'm your co-host, Robert Bobby Reed, and I got the legend, the NBA veteran, the McDonald All-American. Your host, Marcus, living in the building. What's up, Marcus?
Man, what's up, my beautiful people?
And Marcus Levy is doing his George Mike and Drill, but we got a special guest in the building, one of the top sports agents in Chicago and in basketball, a product of Chicago, coming out of Schertz High School, responsible for top NBA players coming in and out of the game. Man, we want to give it up, man, for Reggie Brown, man, sports agent for the NBA. What's up, Reggie Brown? Product of Mississippi Valley State, the SWAC. I got to give it up to him, baby. What's up, boy?
What's going on, gentlemen? What's going on, gentlemen?
Man, my man.
Live, true legend, Chicago legend. For real, man. It's unbelievable, boy. It's like it was unbelievable. You talking about somebody that's way ahead of their game, like
Man.
I saw a little bit of Ben Wilson, and I ain't comparing apples and oranges, and a lot of people from Chicago gonna get mad at me, maybe or maybe not. But I just think Liv's skill set with that size was way different. Way different. Y'all hold on 1 second. Give me 1 second.
Go ahead, man. We know you probably got another client calling you. Go ahead and get it, man.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Otherwise, I wouldn't answer.
Yeah, man. Go ahead. And but Reggie, man, I remember meeting Reggie when we were little, man, and watching him play and hoop, and the way he handled the ball, the way he shot the ball. I mean, he really was like a Steph Curry, man, before Steph Curry. I mean, he shoots it from downtown. So we're going to let Reggie talk a little bit about his upbringing and who put the rock in his hand. That's how we always do it on All Ball Chicago. We all positive. So, Reggie, take it away, man.
Second. Just give me 5 seconds, okay?
Okay. All right. Go ahead and get it. Go ahead and get it.
So we got priority sports agent Reggie Brown in the building, man.
And look at all them shoes, man. Look at all them shoes he got in the back.
That man say he got 300, what did he say, 275 pair of shoes back there?
375 back there on display. He got a total of 600, I think he said. So he got a bunch of shoes, man. But yeah, Reggie's going to come back and join us, man. He, as you know, he's the super duper agent, doing his thing on the agency side and representing a lot of talent across the country. So he's going to join us, and he's our very own from Chicago. So he's been doing it for a very long time, and we're going to time in with him and talk about all that stuff. But right now he had to take a call, which is important.
Look at his chair though. His chair is Mississippi Valley State. Shout out to the SWAC, man. Don't think you. Hey, look, Reggie. I know you just. Don't think that you can't go to an HBCU and be successful, right?
No, I 100%. And listen, now that you mentioned that, we're gonna talk about a bunch of stuff, but
that's right.
Mo Williams was my client as a player. Mo Williams and Trey Johnson, both my clients. Trey played at Jackson State. Mo didn't play at Jackson State, but he down there. He from Mississippi. Mm-hmm. Played at Murrow High School, the whole nine. So he just took the job at Alabama State.
Right.
And we just had, I can't think of the kid's name. The kid just committed to Howard. Big time recruit, top 100 player, whatever.
That maker.
Yeah, there you go. So he took a job. Mo took the job at Alabama State, and I just really want to see him get the first McDonald All-American to go to an HBCU. I think that can happen now. I don't think, I don't think these players feel like, with social media and the exposure that they get, I don't think they feel like they got to go to the Dukes, North Carolinas, Kentucky's, the whole nine anymore. I think if Mo gonna make some noise down there because he got some good relationships with some good people, and I think he's gonna get some good players, some top players, and just kind of turn the SWAC out.
Hey, Reggie, you forgot to add, he didn't even take the salary.
Oh, no question.
So he's going down there to work just for free, huh?
Free 99.
He took the pro bono act, man.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
that was beautiful, man. So
but I don't know if you guys heard this. I heard Charles Barkley and a couple other people talk about the maker making that decision, talking about, yeah, it's good that he did that, but on the flip side, is he really going to get better because of the competition? That's what the knock is. Everybody's saying that, well, is he going to get the good competition playing in the HBCU? So what do you guys think about that?
Well, I can answer that. And Lib, you know this because first of all, these players are good when they show up. Okay. Most of the improvement is done through the player development and the skill development that they're getting outside of the actual basketball games.
Mm-hmm.
All the basketball games is just rehearsal. You're not thinking about who in front of you. You're not thinking about that. It's second nature to react and perform. And it really wouldn't matter who the other person is. Now, as far as the NBA goes, it's going to be bigger and more athletic players. However, if you good and you got the same type of speed and athleticism and you got that skill set, it's going to transfer automatically. And it's a minor adjustment. You're going to be able to, pick up on it in a small window in a short learning curve.
So Reggie, you saying them NBA executives are still going to be coming to those games to watch that kid play regardless?
They better.
Yeah.
They better.
Yeah. Well, one
if
thing we know
they're
for
gonna
sure.
miss out. You gonna judge them on 30 games?
Right.
And look,
right.
one thing we know for sure, you can get some jewels out of the South and out of the SWAC and out of them HBCUs, man. I mean, look what Lindsey Hunter did, man. Look what Lindsey
I represented Lindsey too.
Yep, he did.
You represented Lynn?
I represented Lindsey too.
Well, that's what's up, man. That's
what's Reggie.
I was down in the South. There's so many that didn't make it that I knew about.
Right.
I don't know if you remember Fred West that was at Texas Southern.
Wow.
I don't remember.
Fred West at Texas Southern. How about this one?
Okay.
Bobby Fields, rest in peace.
Yeah.
We also represented.
Right.
Bobby Fields didn't even start at Southern.
Right.
Bobby Fields came off the bench for Southern. That's how good that team was. Young blood, Carlos, can't think of his name. Man, I thought they had 3 players that was all going to the NBA.
Wow.
And for Bobby Fields to come off the bench.
what you think about, remember Ryan down there, Ryan Lothridge?
The lefty, yeah.
What?
The lefty.
That's my little bro right there. So I thought he was going to end up in New Jersey, man, and he ended up not getting there, man. And that was what the
but he did play for the Warriors, I think.
Yeah, short stint for
I remember him.
Listen, I remember. I found out about him up at the Air Force base in Jackson.
The Air Base, right.
Man, look here, man. I was like, man, who is this dude? They said Jackson State. I said, oh, my landlord, dude, for real.
Oh, my landlord.
And then what about Big Chuck Whitfield, Dwayne Whitfield from Aberdeen, Aberdeen Assassin. So it was them boys. It's a ton of talent down south, man, in the SWAC.
Who you telling, man? Yeah. Who you telling? They just don't they ain't had. We didn't back in that era. With no social media.
No.
So them guys got missed. Them NBA teams weren't coming down to the SWAC.
Right.
Lindsey and all them guys got on the map because Lindsey scored 50 on Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
So, now we got to go show up. Trey Johnson did the same thing. Trey Johnson had a couple of 50 pieces against high Division I schools.
Wow.
So, I mean, high majors. So, then they go, we got to go check him out. Then they go look at his stats. He averaging 30 a game on a double and triple team every night. And there ain't no bomb athletes in the SWAC.
Right.
Those guys, if they ain't nothing else, they athletic.
Right. So Reggie, but let's go back to your upbringing, how you got involved. Actually, we'll get that at the end, the sports agent part. But your hooping, you started hooping in Chicago, doing your thing in Chicago. So who put the rock in your hand? Let's talk about that, and then we'll move on to college, and then we'll go on to you doing some professional, and then you doing your thing on the sports agent side.
Well, I grew up on the west side of Chicago. I was 30 cents from a quarter. So it was rough. And it was like, innocent innocent eyes was stolen at a young age, just seeing the things that went on in the neighborhood. I was fortunate enough to have both parents in the household, majority of my childhood. My dad was from the South, strong disciplinarian. He was one of the dads that if you were with me and you got out of line, you was getting dealt with by him. And then he was walking you home and telling your parents what went down and what he did to you. So wasn't no BS going on his watch around inside my house or right around my house or in front of my house and what was going on. And everybody in my family pretty much hooped.
Okay.
But I kind of rebelled in the beginning. I didn't want to because I felt like I had to, and I didn't, I wasn't really tripping. But what happened was I honestly got into what I call a minor gang initiation thing.
Okay.
So we had this neighbor who had the best stoop on. We used to have in the neighborhood. We used to sit on his porch, named Mr. Reddy. But Mr. Reddy used to chase us off his porch with a shotgun. So
What?
Yeah, he's got. I don't think it was loaded. He just like, y'all get off my porch. So, well, he go to sleep early, and we go back right there and sit on the porch. And when he come out, we hear him coming out that door. We just run again. It was just like the thing to do. So we kept going on his porch. So I forgot who came up with the idea. They said basically, we want you to bust Mr. Reddy's front room window.
Oh Lord!
Oh, damn.
So, okay, I'm okay. Like I'm like I stay 2 doors from Mr. Reddy.
Wow.
So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna throw the rock, brick, and take off running. I did it. Cracked the window. Took off running. Now my dad worked for CTA, so he gets up every morning at 4:00 in the morning. Okay. I come home. My curfew, summer just started. I think my curfew was probably 10:00. My dad ain't never up at no 10:00. Okay. So he's sitting in the living room, and I just walked down. It's like, Dad, you ain't got to work tomorrow? What you doing up? He said, I'm waiting on you. I said, okay. So I go in the house, and I'm reason I'm telling y'all this is because this leads to how I ended up playing basketball. I don't know how much time we got, dragging it out. But he asked me to sit down, and he's sitting in this little chair that he got that ain't nobody else in the house allowed to sit in, whether he there or not. So he goes, what you do today? So I go, I went to the game room, up to the park, and just kind of hung out a little bit. Now he already gave me the 411 about hanging out with a certain crowd. So I knew these guys that talked me into doing this, I wasn't supposed to be hanging with them. So he go, that's all you did today? I said, yeah, that was, that's it, I ain't thinking nothing. He said, okay, now, that's one lie. He said, I'm gonna give you another chance. He said, what did you do today? So now I get that lump in my throat. So I'm trying to think. I'm like, ain't no way. Nah, okay. So I'm like, now I'm kind of, I went to the game room, and I got the little scary voice now. And that's it, dude. Man, that man reached behind that chair and took that brick and sat it on the table. Man, listen.
Hey.
It started raining in my eyes. Like, ain't no way. Man, Mr. Reddy was on his roof shingling.
Oh, wow.
When I did that, when I threw that rock. And we couldn't see him, but he could see me take off running and go around the corner and saw my whole, and he knew me out of everybody in the neighborhood. Man, listen, bro. When I tell you, oh man, boy. I thought I was gonna die.
Your dad got you? Good old fashioned?
Not only that, he had to pay for the window, and we didn't have the money.
Ooh.
So every payday, I got a portion of the money, took it over to Mr. Reddy, apologized again, came back in the house, and grabbed the belt. I couldn't stand payday. Couldn't stand payday. So I was on punishment the entire time. And I'm not talking about, hey, you get to do this and do that. Little time for this. I'm talking my bedroom, walk through the kitchen to the bathroom. That's it. No front room window. You can't see the street. Nothing. The entire summer. So I'm thinking, when school start, I'm back on, regular schedule. No, sir.
Wow.
Same thing, still punishment, right? So I'll get this bright idea that, you know what? I'm trying out for the basketball team. At least I get to do something.
Right.
But I was terrible. Cause I was okay, but I was a bum. I was a bum. So I went to Resurrection. It was a big time elementary school program on the west side.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad coached at the school, but he didn't coach me. The way the coaching went, you start off in the 6th grade. You go with your same team to the 7th grade, and you go with your next team, same team to the 8th grade, and then you graduate, and then the coaching cycle start all over again. So I was a 7th grade coach. I think my dad was starting off he might have been the 8th grade coach or the 6th grade coach that year. But anyway, he didn't coach me. But they only kept 20 people on the A and B team. That year they kept 21. Guess who number 21 was? Me.
You.
Oh, you lucky.
Only reason they kept me because my dad coached at the school and he didn't want to cut. As a matter of fact, I had an old uniform with the same number as a guy that played.
Wow.
We both had number 20.
Wow.
So I never even took my shooting top off. That's how bad I was.
Wow.
Wow.
But Mike, you might know Mike and Myron, right?
Yeah.
Hey, the twins.
Yeah, they're my cousins. So
wow.
Myron lived with me. And Myron, and I'll give him credit to this day, used to make me go to that Columbus Park every morning, faithfully. Every morning. I rebound and shoot for him, and then he let me shoot and do all the dribbling drills and stuff that we was doing back then. We did it every morning, bro. And then the big fellas at Columbus Park didn't let me hoop with them. So what Mike and Myron used to do is say, man, look, just do those dribbling stuff up and down the sideline. And I got really good at handling the ball. I got so good that I started with the 2-ball stuff. I got so good with that 1 ball. I was bored with 1 ball. And with nothing I couldn't do with 1 ball. Wow. And then, it's hard to shoot in the city because it's so windy, especially outside. So we used to take I'm in the lounge, it don't matter now, but we used to take a smash a pop can, and we used to slide it in the side of the door in the gym at Columbus Park where the door wouldn't latch, and we pull the door back up, and we used to go back in there at night and shoot, and that's how we was able to get jump shot and get arch on our jumpers and all that stuff. And that's how I got good just like that. So the next year I went to go try out for the 8th grade team. Now the 8th grade team, they only keep 12 people because it's like varsity in grammar school. So when I go try out for the team, the coach basically was like, "Hey Brown, look man, how was your summer? Da 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 da." He said, "Look, I love that you want to come back this year, but look, I'm only gonna be able to keep 12. I'm not gonna be able to keep 13 this year. But I still want you to, be around and be with the team." And
so he's already looking. He's already looking at you as the 13th player.
I was cut already. I was cut in the door. So, but I knew I was like way better. Like I knew it because I was like, ain't nobody seen me. So I'm just like, but I'm feeling sorry for myself. I go into tryouts, and I'm kind of moping throughout the trials and so on and so forth. And then I'm feeling bad for myself. But Myron walked in the door and it was like, he could tell something was wrong. Myron walked in and he go, "Man, what's going on?" I said, "Man, coach, told me basically don't even try out. He said, look, man, I got my ass up early in the morning for you every day, bro. You better play. You better quit pouting and play. So, man, I snap up out of it, get my little handle thing on, whap, 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 whap. They looking like stuck. You know what I'm saying? Go to the hole, make a layup, and run down court. Man, when I tell you, nobody in the gym move. Nobody in the gym. I'm the only one in the gym moving.
Wow.
But I'm like, I'm not even like understanding like what's wrong.
What's going on?
I know what I've been doing.
Right.
So then the coach goes, let's go. Let's go. Let's play. So, I'm not getting the ball again. You know how I go. They thinking it's luck. Okay. So I get the ball again. Do my thing. Jumper. Wow. Then I played. I probably scored the next 8, almost 10 points in the little scrimmage or whatever. And it's 40, 50 kids in trials. Resurrection wasn't no joke. Man, coach stopped, put everybody on the baseline. They used to run a lot, do push-ups a lot. He was a drill sergeant in the military. So, we had that type of training and discipline. Put us on the baseline and go, Brown, come here. And he called me out there to the free throw line, and he goes, gentlemen, I owe this young man an apology. He said, I basically told him, don't try out for the basketball team today. And he's saying, all my years of coaching, I've never seen such a big improvement in a short period of time. And he said, I want to make you captain of the basketball team.
And he made the captain.
He made me captain before trials was even over. And I fell in love with basketball ever since, man.
Great
story. That's a great story.
Basketball ever since.
And shout out to my boy and them, Mike and Myron, them too. Them my boy. And Joe too.
They live in Minnesota now.
Joe is a sports agent though, right?
Yeah. No, Joe used to work with us here at Priority, but Joe doing great. Joe in LA, he's got his own limo service.
Okay.
And he still got his hands in a few NBA things, but he's doing really, really well.
That's good.
Himself. I think he's doing some real estate stuff and some financial literacy and advising things.
Wow.
Joe's doing great in LA.
Good,
me and Joe talk more than me, Mike, and Myron do now.
Wow.
They're my boys. They from my hood, man. They from Roseland. They're my boys there.
So you over there in 106 and Wentworth, was it?
I was on 102nd and LaSalle. Wild Hunters, baby.
Wild Hunters. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, there all the time.
Well, man, Reggie, but that story, man, within itself, man, and I think that's why we started All Ball in Chicago again, to hear stories like yourself that, you really didn't really want to play ball. And then all of a sudden it just fell in your lap. And then you're like, you know what? I got some guys who were a little older than me told me, man, you gonna do this, and then all of a sudden it happened, and the light bulb went off and you was like, I'm gonna do this, and the rest is history, man. So now you did your thing in middle school, grade school. Now it's time for you to, pick a high school.
Right.
How did that go about? Was it, you coming up on the west side, you got, man, all those west side schools, Marshall, Crane, I can keep Farragut, all these top schools on the west side, Collins, and, and then you ended up going where?
Well, I got recruited by St. Joe's. I was, Resurrection's a Catholic school. So all those Catholic high schools were, at our practices and at our games, and we were in their tournaments and so on and so forth. So I had a choice. I think I had narrowed it down to Weber, Fenwick, and St. Joe. And I knew Tony Freeman and Billy Stanback went to St. Joe.
Yep.
So they were kind of guard heavy. Not that I was intimidated, but I'm like, okay, I kind of wanted to, have my own thing.
Right.
And then Fenwick, was super hard on the educational side, and I wasn't nowhere near valedictorian. So I ended up at Weber.
Okay.
So, I ended up at Weber.
And that's where Ken Redfield went, right?
Yep, Ken Redfield with the Weber, Dwayne Houston. Man, I can't remember this other kid, Victor. Then they had Clarence McGee. Weber had a squad. But one of the coldest guards you ever want to see was a guy named Cornelius Bailey. They call him Gents.
Oh, wow.
Listen, and you probably remember Ronaldo Williams, Rico, that went to St. Joe.
Uh-huh.
Them might be two of the baddest dudes I've seen on the planet. And
Wow.
and I think you another one, Leah.
Go ahead.
Ray Clark stayed 2 doors from me.
Wow.
Now, some say, and if you saw Ray Clark, that he showed Isaiah everything he know about that little pet. And by the way, my nickname is Shake. Tell my SWAC buddy, if you say Reggie Brown in the SWAC, they might not know who you're talking about. But if you say Shake, they know me down there.
Wow.
Well, I'm sure Eric Struthers watching. I know Tyrone Kidd, because they watch this. All my boys from Jackson State watch this show. You know.
Wow.
Excuse me, y'all. I got to step up and lock the front door. Hold on. My
So
family stepped out.
so they called you Shake Red?
They know me as Shake. But, you know, I watched Ray Clark. I saw Ray Clark, you know, he just passed away not too long ago. He had lupus.
Oh, wow.
So I got to go to his funeral. But Ray Clark used to have me over at his house. And he had these little pedals in his grass, like the little brick pedals.
Yep.
So he used to have me dribbling on those, in the grass on those little pedals.
Wow.
So, and he also used to have me stand on this crate and jump off the crate and shoot my jumper to him in the air, just simulate that to him.
Yeah.
So I jump and come forward and my feet off the ground with my jumper. And if you remember how I shoot, that's kind of how I got my shot from. Now, Ray was unbelievable player. Ray was unbelievable player. You ask anybody about Ray Clark. Ray Clark was unbelievable player. So Ray wanted to introduce me. I saw Ray Clark go in a half-court circle, right, with 4 people. He told them, listen, I cannot leave this circle. I want y'all to try to take the ball.
And they couldn't.
They couldn't even touch the ball, Rico. You understand me? They couldn't even touch the ball, Leah.
Wow.
Like, he was a man. He used to dribble the ball not even a half a millimeter off the ground. He used to have this thing called a typewriter, where he can take the ball with his fingers and go. Hey, listen, man, he was unbelievable with that ball, man. And everywhere he went, he had a basketball with him. So guess what I started doing? Everywhere I went, I had a basketball with him. I went to the store. I dribbled left hand to the store, dribble with my right to the back on the way back home.
Wow.
So do whatever I want to do when I.
So you owed a lot to him too, then. You know.
I spoke at his funeral, and I told him he had no idea because I never had contact with him again. Couldn't get a hold of him. I wanted to thank him while he was still here, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I really wanted to thank him. I told people about him everywhere I went. You know, I was coaching, my teammates, and then Rico, Ronaldo Williams, he took it to another level because, you know, Ray, you know, he came up under Ray Clark too.
Mm-hmm.
Rico was unbelievable. Rico was the first person I seen go up a flight of stairs, going between his legs and hitting every step. You talk about an unbelievable man. Listen, man. Ask anybody about Ronaldo Williams.
Wow, I'm pretty.
Ronaldo Williams and Joe. He in the St. Joe's Hall of Fame.
I'm pretty sure we got some people on there that know who you're talking about, and probably on our channel and our line.
Stairs, hit every step between the legs.
That's cold.
Ain't no way. He dribbled so good, Leah. One day he was playing with me, and I was a young fella. So I go, Rico, how you dribble so good? And he looked around and he go, look here, Reg, don't tell nobody, okay? He say, every day during rush hour, I go on the expressway and dribble between the cars.
Damn.
And he say, I know if I don't dribble real good and keep my handle tight, I might get hit by a car.
Damn,
and listen, he dribbled so good, I damn near believed him.
Damn.
Listen, it went to about a year later, he told me he was playing, and my dad went off on me. Because I told him, I said, Daddy, you know, Rico go on the expressway doing rush hour. Work on his head. He said, boy, you believe that shit?
You know.
You had Robert going for a minute over there.
Man, I saw you. I see.
Like,
but yeah, that's how good Rico was, man.
Man, wow,
yep.
wow. But that's what We all had somebody like that, man, older guy, man, that did it, but that just never really got his just due. Like you just said, that man Rico and the other guy, what's the other guy name?
Cornelius Bailey, gents.
Bailey, yeah, that actually, showed you a few things, man, and you took it and ran with it. And they just don't, like you said, you wanted to be able to tell him that while he was still here, because we just never know when it's time for us to leave this earth, man. That's why I always say, man, let's do it while they still here. Let's celebrate people while they still here.
Exactly.
And I think Chicago in general, we too busy, talking bad about each other instead of uplifting each other. So that's why
it's tough to make it out here, live. You know how it is here.
Yeah, man.
Being in the agent game, I get a chance to be with meet different players from different places, and I'm telling you, from my position, most other cities, they super duper supportive about their ball players.
Mm-hmm.
They are.
You just can't get no respect here unless you just like somebody got something bad from here to say about Derrick Rose. Like how?
Yeah.
Somebody here got something bad to say about Jabari Parker.
Right.
How?
Right.
How? And like it's unbelievable to me. Like I done seen Will Bynum. First of all, I represented Will Bynum, okay? And I was arguing back in the day with a barbershop full of people about how Will Bynum was gonna make it to the NBA. Man, NBA don't want that and one shit. He ain't never finna get to the NBA.
Wow.
He can't do that shit in no real game. I'm like, what? Man, first of all, I seen people hear about Will Bynum when he played against Marbury at the Pro-Am. I seen the whole barbershop empty. I seen two dudes get out their chair with an unfinished haircut.
Wow, just to go see
the thrill. Go see the thrill. And y'all don't think he gonna make it to the NBA? Well, don't run over here and see him then. Every time he pack IIT, don't break your neck to go down there to see him.
Right.
He ain't gonna make it to the NBA. Come on, man.
Wow.
Steady hating and no participating.
Right.
Crazy, man. That's crazy. Chicago.
So when you make it up out of here, you did something.
You did something.
But that goes for everything, though, Reggie, and everything, music, everything. I don't know why we so cold. Is it the cold of the city, the colder the people live? What's it, man?
It's some of the things like look what's going on now, bro. I'm embarrassed to be from here, bro. Like, I'm ashamed, man. I see people that's not from here, man. What y'all doing in Chicago? What's going on in Chicago? It's embarrassing, man. Like, man, we harming each other, killing each other. Man, kids getting shot. Like,
Reggie, what about the that just got shot on Gold Coast yesterday?
In the broad daylight? How
broad
does that
daylight,
happen?
man. He was on live, doing his live stream, saying he was down there shopping, and they came and found his location and killed the boy, man.
Wow.
They do not care.
Yeah, they don't care.
Cameras,
man.
everything. Cameras everywhere now.
Mm-hmm.
So you really can't. You don't even pay to be no criminal. You gonna get caught eventually.
That's crazy, man.
They don't care, bro. Like they put all these weapons here. I like. Come on, man. You know where them guns coming from.
Right.
We ain't got access to them.
Right.
We ain't got access to them. We can't walk in Mr. Charlie gun shop and buy it either.
Right.
Without paying like some crazy amount of money for them.
Yeah, man. Chicago.
Don't sell it to them. Then we come back and kill each other.
Yeah, Chicago's a beautiful city, man, but it's a lot of ugly things that go on in that city, man, in our city. So, yeah, you're right about that, Reg, but let's continue to talk about the hoop scene, man. We jumped off. That's how we do it on All Ball Chicago. We be jumping all over the place, man. When we'll dribble back there, we'll dribble just like between the traffic and get back to the court. Yeah, we're back on the court now, man.
Because it's two Chicagos.
Yeah. For sure.
So you grew up on that west side. You did the thing, throwing rocks, breaking windows, and all that stuff. Hooping, learn how to dribble, shooting, doing your things off the crate. Now it's time for you to go to college.
Yep.
Now, I'm pretty sure you had a lot of colleges after you, and what made you want to stay, with the HBCU?
Well, I committed to Southwest State.
Okay.
With Charlie Spoon out, Southwest Missouri State.
Okay.
Charlie Spoon out was there. So my dad told them, we coming, but we got some more visits and more stuff, so don't announce it. Because I didn't, it was just verbal, and of course they did. So my dad got all upset, tight. We not going there, this and that. So I ended up not going to Southwest Missouri State. So I'm like, so I end up going to COD, College of DuPage first.
Yep. They had a hell of a program.
Yeah, we had a brick.
Yeah.
I still got the record there. So I'm still in the record books. Most threes in a game.
Okay.
Let's go.
Hey,
okay.
10 for 11 from 3.
Wow. Wow.
Yes, still got the record.
That's a 30 piece there, boy.
Yeah, but I had 36 though. But we ain't gonna talk about the other 6. We ain't gotta talk about the other 6.
Right. Oh boy.
Yeah, but
so you went there.
Went to COD, and when I left COD, that's when Strib kept recruiting me. Like Stribling, Lafayette Stribling was the coach at Mississippi Valley State back then. He just, he did an unbelievable job of, staying on my dad, and my dad was sold on him telling him he gonna, develop me as a man, and I'm gonna come back a bigger and better man. He said he don't know what I'm gonna do as far as basketball. He said, but he promised him, my dad, that I'd be a better man when I return here, and I love that man to his day. It was some days I couldn't stand him. But I understood, like, how you in something, and then when you removed from it, like the message is so much clearer and the definition is so much clearer, and you understand exactly what he was doing and what he meant to do and what he tried to accomplish. And
what year did you get there, Rich?
I got to Valley in 89. 88, 89.
Okay, that's when I got down there.
Yep.
I got down there. Was you there when my guy Mario Jones was there?
I remember that name, but he wasn't on the team with me.
Right, he ended up just getting in some trouble down there. That was a good friend of mine. He went to Corliss. He was pretty good. But I had to grab the Valley State hat for you right quick, man. That's to show some love. He got the SWAC
in the building.
Yeah, man. My son, they committed there, man. The Struthers, I telling you, man, I was ready to go, man. Because Strut, that's my boy. We played the pro-am down there, but yeah, go ahead, though. We'll talk about that later. Go ahead, Liv.
So I went to Valley, and I remember when I first got down there, the season hadn't started. Plus, I had a little girlfriend at the crib, so I wasn't trying to, being in itty bitty Mississippi, being from Chicago, Itabena and Greenwood or Greenville was, the bigger towns, but man, it was culture shock for me. And I remember calling my home dad, telling me, Daddy, this ain't gonna work for me and this and that. And he said, okay, well, no problem, you coming home. He said, but when you get here, he said there will be an Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marine application on your bed.
Wow, that's what's up.
He said, pick one, because you ain't staying here.
Wow.
I said, you know what? I'm going to try this shit out a little longer. I said, you know what? Let me see what this do. And once the season started, man, please.
Right.
Because come on, Reggie, you talk about football too down there, boy.
Well, I know, and I ain't know nothing about all that. Because, we went no football games. Just, this the first, they practicing, but I ain't went to no games. Matter of fact, if I remember right, they first two or three games was on the road, so I ain't get to see them.
Right.
But man, when I got that experience and saw them bands at halftime.
The bands, yep.
Man, and with no cell phone back then, I'm going to the payphone to call people like, man, I ain't gonna believe this.
Yeah.
Man,
and them dancing girls too, man.
What? Man, please.
So you saying you forgot about your girlfriend then?
Listen, no, that was crazy. I wouldn't. I did my thing, but I wasn't really wild like that. And
Right.
I was really like into this girl until I found out, something went
Right.
down different when I left.
Right.
But when I got back and found out that, I was getting cheated on
Right.
after all the stuff I passed up, boy, seatbelt was off. Seatbelt was off. When I got back, man, please. I was a terror. I was a terror. I wouldn't turn it down. Nothing but my collar. And the last time I checked, I ain't had one on.
So Shake, you went down there and did your thing in Mississippi State. Was Cato down there? Mississippi Valley. Was Cato down there?
Cato had just left. Reggie King, right?
Yeah.
Cato had just left.
Y'all boy Cato went there?
Cato went there. Him and Jesse Bell.
Oh.
Yeah, Jesse stayed there with me. JB stayed with me.
Okay.
Cato couldn't stick.
Man, JB my man to this day, boy.
Yep. Yeah,
oh,
Big
man,
JB.
That's my man, Big Jesse Bells, man.
Yes,
Jesse
sir.
Bells. I used to ride home. Jesse Bells had a big old 9.8. And every time we had a break, Jesse used to drive all the way home. And wouldn't let nobody else drive.
Wow.
All in Chicago. Other than that, it was so far. I used to go home with different teammates every little break we had. I've been all through Mississippi, New Orleans on the coast.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I've been
because when they no school, Reggie, they all go home, and us from Chicago be stuck.
Suitcase college, they call it. It's they there Monday through Thursday. Friday,
they go
taking classes on Friday. It's gone unless something going on.
Yeah,
unless something going on.
Yeah, the people from the South they go home, live
so you tagged along then.
Yeah, I figured it out. The season's over with. Okay, well, I'm going home. I'm going to Memphis with Travis Palmer this weekend. Mm-hmm. I'm going to the coast with Boo Hardy. Mm-hmm. I mean, I've been all through that, boy.
That's what I liked about me staying home at the University of Illinois. It was easy for me to get back home. You jump in the car, we good. But yeah, when you go far away, man, in unfamiliar territory, you got to get, used to your teammates, and some teammates might not live in great neighborhoods, and you're like, man, this is like Chicago still, so.
Yeah.
But
that's a 12-hour ride, Lee.
I know. Who you telling? I know. Mississippi.
Why you ain't go to the SWAC, Lee?
That's where my kinfolk from.
Oh, yeah?
Come on. Yeah, man. Come on, man. Nobody was really going to those schools back then, man, when I was growing up, Yeah, we was being like, I would say it, we were brainwashed, like I never even knew about, historical black colleges. Really, I didn't, because nobody was really talking about that, Mm-hmm. I think if somebody was talking about it a little bit more, then I would I know some guys that went to Howard, but I still didn't know Howard was an HBCU school. I'm just hearing people say, yeah, I go to Howard, Mm-hmm. And now, that I got older, I knew I dig deep into it, and I'm like, man, why athletes don't go there,
Mm-hmm.
Is it safe to say that Bill Cosby's A Different World kind of put that out in the front for us, though, as young black people coming up? Remember The Different World with Dwayne Wayne and Whitney and all of that?
Wearing all the shirts and, doing all that.
They were doing all the fraternity and sorority, because I didn't know either. And then I saw... what was that? Doing it in the butt? What was that? School Days?
School Days.
School Days. Yeah.
I was like,
Spike Lee.
Yeah, I got to go to school.
Like my high school. Like my high school, King, because we always had a nice band. Most of those kids that played, in the band, they went to, the HBCU schools down Jackson State. They went to Jackson State and Mississippi Valley.
Alcorn, all them schools.
Alcorn. They went to those, schools, but a lot of the basketball players, didn't go as much. And I don't want to, keep talking about that. But let's keep talking about Reggie. Reggie, what made you get into the agency thing, then, man?
Well, after I left Valley, I played a little bit in Argentina, played a little bit in Germany, and I met a guy named Brian McDermott, and let me tell y'all this another great story.
Okay.
Brian McDermott was the commissioner over in, I think he played in Germany. And I forget the connection. But anyway, long story short, I was doing the ball handling and drills and stuff over there and honestly making more money doing that than I was playing.
Oh.
Wow.
So, they was amazed by that. So all these people was coming to me saying, hey, show my kid this, show my kid that, here. So he told me that, he don't know where I'm going, as far as my basketball career, but I have a talent to teach the game of basketball. He said, you got an unbelievable gift. Now, and he said he was going back to the States to, take a coaching job. And long story short, he ended up at a school called Dakota State. And I ended up being his assistant at Dakota State. Now, he's first cousin with Greg McDermott. And we coached against Greg McDermott when he was at Wayne State and basically Wayne State, but he was up in North Dakota and a few other places. Fast forward to me being an agent, Greg McDermott is Doug McDermott's dad.
Right.
I ended up representing Doug McDermott.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Sweet.
I ended up representing Doug McDermott because I had a relationship early on with him through his cousin Brian McDermott as his assistant, and then I got in the game. I was the first one to call Mr. Irvin, to contact Sonny Vaccaro about Mike Miller in Mitchell, South Dakota.
Yep, Mike Miller.
Skinny, they call him Skinny in South Dakota. Skinny.
The Corn Palace.
Yep. Boy, what you know about the Corn Palace? Yeah, boy. Yeah. So, Skinny from Mitchell, South Dakota, and I called him up there. I called Clem Haskins and told him, because I was working Clem Haskins basketball camps every summer in Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
So I was driving to Minnesota. I worked Clem Haskins basketball camps. Minnesota had a big time program then. So that's why I met, Bobby Jackson and Bashawn Leonard. Them are all my people, man. That's my man. I want to get a hold of both Bashawn Leonard so bad. I can't find nobody that got his number. I got to find Bashawn Leonard. That's my man. I ain't on no social media. I'm Retro Reggie, so I ain't on no social media. So
I call my man. I call my man and see if he got it.
Please get vote number, man. Please, that's my man. We used to be together every day. That man eat breakfast 3 times a day.
Wow.
That's all that man eat.
Leonard. Wow.
Vote Leonard.
Wow.
Vote Leonard. So I was doing and I told, Clem, I said, Coach, man, it's this boy down in South Dakota, man. Coach, he tough. I'm telling you, he tough. He's like, hey, there ain't no South Dakota. Come on now. So I said, all right, Coach. I'm trying to tell you. So long story short, he kind of passed him over. I think he kind of tried to get in there late. Man, before you know it, I remember Kevin O'Neal came in from Tennessee. He was at Tennessee then.
Okay.
Tennessee, Kentucky, everybody came in there. And he ended up going to Florida.
Yep.
Wow.
The rest is history. Now, I ended up being an agent. Mike Miller, first year. Hold on one second, y'all. I'm sorry.
All right. Man, that's crazy, man. Crazy.
Wow. It's crazy how opportunity presents itself and being prepared, though. You know what I'm saying, Liv?
And being at the right and being at the right place at the right time.
Right. Exactly.
So I'm sorry, y'all.
Go ahead.
So I met Mike Miller. Now I'm greener than the blade of grass on the agent game, and my partner Mark Balderstein at the time, we was so pro school. I'll never forget. Probably 2 of the biggest mistakes I made early on the agent side was my man, rest in peace, Billy Taylor. I call him Billy Taylor Made.
Okay.
He was super close with Kevin Garnett. I met Kevin Garnett on a court outside of Columbus Park. And he was like, man, I'm thinking about putting my name in the draft, this and that. I said, big fella, you good? but you need to go to school.
Wow. Wow.
Wow.
Hold on. Met Mike Miller at a Denny's in Florida.
Wow.
Reggie, they telling me I'm gonna be a lottery pick. What you think I should do? You know, my family trusts you. My family trusts you, the whole nine. What you think I should do? Mike, you got to go back to school. Bro, do you
two
know
world champs?
Do you know how I come in the game?
Right.
First year with Kevin Garnett and Mike
And
Miller.
Mike Miller.
I don't know for sure that I'm gonna get them.
Right.
But I was right there with them, and they asking me for advice.
Right.
Like I said, you know, I'm wet behind the ears.
Is right.
Smelling like Similac. And
yeah.
I'm like, yeah, you gotta go back to school because that's what Mr. Charlie tell me. I gotta tell them.
Right.
Look,
Right.
they gotta go back to school. Blah 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 blah. They probably ain't ready for him right now. Man, look at man. You talking about green room first day of school?
Wow.
Man,
crazy, right?
Man.
Yeah,
Crazy,
yeah.
man. Crazy, man.
Yeah.
But those are.
I want to Mike remember that, and I want to KG remember that.
I'm pretty sure they do, man. I'm pretty sure they do, man, because you remember those experiences. Like they was coming for advice, you know, from you to see if they were making the right decision. You know, of course they remember that, man. You know, but you learn, you learn from those mistakes, and now Priority Sports is probably, if not the biggest, is definitely top 5, top 3 sports agency in the country.
Mm-hmm.
And you are, you know, a big part of, especially getting the kids from Chicago. You know, I know you always, like I mean, me and you talked about some things and how you like, you know, to represent Chicago kids, man, because that's what your heart's at, and you know you believe that's what should be happening. But you know, every now and then somebody, you know, go the other route and pick whoever they want to pick. But I think Reggie, what you all about, man, you really are a prime example of what Chicago looks like, and what you're trying to do is help our kids, you know, become professionals on and off the court. You've been there and done that. You know the NBA. You know the ins and outs of the NBA because you've been doing it for so long. And we had a kid on here, man, and you probably saw the show, Jeremy Richmond. I'm trying to help him, Reg. You know, I want to help that kid so much, man. Just talking to him. I talked to him earlier today. So when we get off there, man, I just want to talk to you about him, man. And you can tell me. You don't have to share it all.
Man, yeah, I you know, it's just some things happen to us. You know, I talked about our innocence being stolen away from us at a young age, and or you know, just seeing some things or some type of trauma that we were unaware of, and sometimes. You know, we don't, you know, we are proud people, like we as Black people. And sometimes when we almost too proud to ask for help.
Right.
And we almost view it as a weakness. When, and that's not the case. And that's not the case. And then the other times we don't know better.
Right.
Like if you knew better, you do better. Like we don't know that there's help out there for certain things. We don't know that watching domestic violence could traumatize you because you're not the actual victim.
Right.
You are a victim.
Right.
You know, it could be anything. I'm not saying that that's the case with him.
Right.
But sometimes we see something that we are unaware of and we try to ignore it and we try to bury it. And it resurfaces in a different way, and we don't understand what it is. So, like, I'm an agent, but I view myself I think what separates me is that I pay attention to the mental side of a professional athlete.
Mm.
And I know every day I try to humanize the situation, because we as fans, we forget that they human. We forget that they go through the same things we go through every day. So what I do really, really good at, and what I read a lot, I manage that personality.
Mm.
Right.
They already good. So I'm not reinventing the wheel. Like, I'm still in the gym with them, and because I know that's the way to their heart.
Right.
So like me actually going through the drills, and I still play, Liv. The reason I still play, my back hurt. Like, my back so bad, I traded in for another bad back.
Wow.
But I still want to play, because I always want to remember what it's like as a player, and I think it helps me when I'm having these conversations after the game and after the practice and after the coach did this, because I done coached too.
Right.
You know, I coached college basketball for almost 6 years, and so I understood what it's like to be on the sideline. You know, I know how to be at the chalkboard in the locker room, and I know how it is to be sitting there watching the guy at the chalkboard in the locker room. And then I still play, so I can continue to evolve and develop and have a really good feel for what a player is going through.
Right.
You know,
That's big.
and that's like super important to me. Like,
It is.
some of the things that I experience, they don't have nothing to do with basketball. And I'm finna give you one small example. And I know I get long-winded and get to talking, but it's just so much to say. I've been doing this almost 23 years in February
Wow.
of next year. 23 years. So I
Wow.
I know where the body's buried. You know what I'm saying? I know the new cemetery that they building right now. You
Right.
know, it's just so much that, I told people this all the time. I say, if I, like, I guess, dry snitch. No, the professional word for snitching. The professional word for snitching is whistleblower.
Okay.
Whistleblower. Right.
If I was a whistleblower, I would have to leave here and go on an island and never come back.
Right. Right.
Not go on an island and never come back.
Right.
Because you know so much.
Man, I know so much, but they know and trust me that I would never. I take a bullet first.
Right.
I ain't cut like that. I ain't never finna sweat up under the hot lamp. It ain't happening.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
So, like, example, I don't know if y'all remember what happened to Sterling Brown, similar to what just happened
In Milwaukee, yeah.
Yeah, in Milwaukee. I got that phone call at 4:00 in the morning.
Wow.
Now, Sterling dad is a retired police officer.
Right.
But for whatever reason, he called me. And I honor that so much and respect that so much, because that let me know how he feel about me.
That's right.
Because I've showed him how I feel about him. And that didn't have nothing to do with basketball. So basically, the police, just beat him up for no reason.
That was
no
the
reason
kid
at all. For the
Minnesota?
Milwaukee Bucks.
Right.
No, Milwaukee.
Right. I mean,
for the Milwaukee Bucks.
Milwaukee.
Yeah, Milwaukee
right.
Bucks. Sterling Brown. Play for the Milwaukee Bucks right now.
Shannon Brown's brother.
Yeah, Shannon Brown's brother. I represented both of them. I still represent Sterling. And basically, long story short, he parked in a handicap spot to go in a
Walgreens or something.
Walgreens. One Walgreens. Police got his car trapped in on the way out. And I can't go into details, but basically, they went crazy on him for no reason. All he tried to do was move the car. They wanted to search the car. And like, he was like, no. Like, he knows his rights. His dad, a police officer. Like, you can't search my car. He didn't have nothing in the car, but
right.
You can't search it. So they got irritated about it, and he wasn't resisting arrest, and man, it was pretty bad. And
wow.
it could have been different.
Right.
So I got up out of my bed 4:00 in the morning and got him out. And then the other part, I'm gonna give the Milwaukee Bucks so much credit, because they didn't have to listen to me. But I told them, I said, look, Sterling a straight shooter. So if he done something, he'd have let me know right away. Look, Reg, I effed up. I did this, I did that, but I ain't do nothing. And so I believed him 100%. So I made sure the Bucks organization knew that, listen, this ain't one of my clients that be on BS, that do this and do that, and then try to blame everybody else. I said, this ain't that client. I said, whatever he come in there and tell y'all, that's 100% what happened, and y'all need to believe that and support him in that. They didn't have to listen, but they did, because the first person that in that room when after what he went through, that trauma he went through, that say, hey man, what was you doing out that time of night anyway? Or whatever. Like, you just say anything out your mouth, like, wrong, after going through that, like, it don't matter. It don't matter why I was out. You know what I'm saying? So he didn't do nothing, and like I said, it's still pending some legal-ish stuff. So
some lawsuits.
We could discuss that, at a later time. So yeah, but that was huge to me, and I've gotten those phone calls many a day, and like I said, it's basketball related, but not really.
Yeah. No, but I mean,
Reggie, what's some of the notable guys you got? Sorry, Lib.
No, go ahead.
I was saying, what's some of the notable guys that we might know?
Well, hope y'all been paying attention to my young fella, Michael Porter Jr. Been making some noise lately.
That's your guy?
Man, listen, man. I told everybody about him. He was the number one pick, projected number one pick before he hurt himself. Okay.
Yep.
Now, listen, man. The man was playing through excruciating pain and was still super nice.
Because when he messed up his vertebrae, right?
Back. Yeah, he messed up his back. So, and he was vegan, and so he didn't have a bunch of muscle and energy and things of that nature. No, and it was tough for him, but he got through it and he fought, and that's how I knew he was tough. He don't fall up under the light skin act. Not at all. Not at all.
How tall is he? What, he's 6'10"?
Man, he might be 7 feet, man. I'm telling you.
Damn.
Yeah, man, he long, and I'm not saying he KD, but he the closest thing to KD to me.
I saw that kid in the EYBL, man, with Trey Young on the same team, man. Them cats were destroying people, man. Destroying people. I was telling people when I saw him, I was like, man, this dude can flat out shoot the ball. And he had handles. And
bounce.
Man.
He was doing windmill from the free throw line.
I know. I was like, he was toying around, Bob, with some of these cats in the high school. Seriously, man. So I'm glad, Reggie. I'm happy to hear you say that he is back, because I am a Nugget. I got drafted by the Nuggets. I want to see the Nuggets do good, man. So, man, I'm excited, man, to see this kid, keep that his legacy going, because he was the man in high school. He was the number one high school player in the country. So
if he stay healthy, watch out. And plus, I got Plumlee on that team, and I got Troy Gunline Daniels on that team.
Oh wow!
Talking about somebody that can shoot, man. Wow! That man open like me when I get out of my car. And
bang bang.
Yep, I got Bradley Beal.
Oh wow!
Bobby Portis, dog. That's another dog.
Damn.
Bobby Portis, man. Joe Harris, Quinn Cook.
What about overseas guys?
Overseas guy. Well, I got Isaiah Cannon going over there right now. I got Daryl Macon, who played at Arkansas, was with Miami and Dallas. Jeremy Pargo. He finishing up in his career, but Chicago guy, Cliff Alexander.
Big Cliff.
Yep. Hopefully he can get it together and turn the corner, man. I'm really, really rooting for that kid. That's another kid that went through a lot of stuff at a young age, and now all of a sudden coming to the forefront, and his decision making is
Right.
is blurry, you know. So
don't you got the young? Didn't you have the young UConn kid?
Boatwright?
Yeah.
Now I had him. I had Boatwright, but Boatwright went in a different direction. But there's another kid that I'm rooting for. Like even if I don't have him, bro, like I'm so Chicago. I can't I can't help but support and cheer from the sidelines. I be wanting all them good. I know I can't represent all of them. Like I watch Anthony Davis and I'm just like, ain't no way I wasn't supposed to have Anthony Davis. Like ain't no way.
Right.
Like cause not to sound braggadocious, but I know ain't nobody doing a better job than me.
Right.
That's from here.
And that's the way you're supposed to be too, Reggie. That's the way you're supposed to be though, man.
Yeah. It's hard though. It's hard. I can't even stunt. It's
I know.
hard because I know as good as it is for him, I know it could be better.
Right.
Because I understand what I bring to the table, and a lot of that stuff they bury and they put it in camouflage. And if you don't know that there's another level or another flight to go to, I mean, ain't nothing you can do. And then again, I'm not for everybody either because I'm not a yes man. I'm not finna tell you how great you are every day and tell you what you want to hear. Because they got enough people around them that do that.
They do that.
Mm-hmm.
And Reggie Brown ain't doing that. And I let him know that in the beginning.
Right.
I let him know that in the beginning. That if you want that type of agent, I can't. I don't want you to pay me for that.
Right.
But you know what, Reggie, and I, because I had some agents that represented me too, and as I got older, I understand it. That an agent is a business. Like I don't want you to be my friend. I want you to take care of business, right? Make sure that I'm getting the proper treatment that I need from outside, whatever endorsement deals that you're going to work for me, or my contract to get me some more money, wherever I need to be, and that's it. Now if we do build that bond like most agents or like most kids want, that friendship bond, then so be it. But I'm coming in the door knowing that it's a business partnership. It's not. It's not. You got to be my buddy. Yeah. If I'm messing up and you see it, you watching the game on television, or you sitting there watching in the stands, and you saying, "Look here, man, you ain't playing worth shit today." And then you talking about you want to get a contract next year, then you need to step it up.
Wow.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And I think
that was the agent's role, Lid.
But that's what I'm saying. I think that's so important for people to understand that, because sometimes people think that agents are your friend, like it's an AAU situation. No, it's not an AAU situation. This is business, man. So you got to understand that. Yes.
It's millions and millions of dollars. But I understand, but to me, I view you as a partner, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I know you're not gonna understand the business part of the NBA coming into it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
You might have a parent that may know a little bit, but not even the smartest person outside of the NBA gonna understand what it's like until you experience it.
Mm-hmm.
So
right.
I think the relationship and the communication has to be squeaky clean and super tight, because there are a ton of tough conversations you got to have with a client. And if he don't think you care about him or have his best interest at heart, then he gonna find somebody else. Sometimes you can do all that and they still go find somebody else because they don't want to hear the truth.
Right.
They don't want to hear the truth. So I try to have a close relationship with every single client, like like I told you before, I manage the personality.
Right.
I manage the personality, and that's what helps me be close to these guys and get the most out of them. Because if I don't know you, I can't get the most out of you. I got to know what buttons not to push, and I got to know when to push the do not push buttons.
Right.
How many people you got?
We as a company, because I'm not by myself, we have 40 players in the NBA. And then we have probably another, 40? Yep, we got I think we got 40 on the nose, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
And we think we probably got another 25 to 30.
Overseas.
No, we got another 30 overseas. Another 30 overseas.
Okay.
But it's 5 in-house agents. We got a full marketing team. We are full service. We got 30 employees. So all I gotta do is focus on the basketball part. And we all, when you get me, you get the other 4 agents in our office too, because we got a legit team approach. You know, ain't no solo superheroes. Nobody works on commission. We all work on salary, and my success is his success. KP, George, Andy,
all of the people that are working off.
Everybody, Mark, everybody benefit. Everybody benefit because they all Zach. Zach gonna find out I didn't say his name, boy. He gonna be mad.
Shout out to Zach, baby.
Yeah, Zach know you, my man. But everybody benefiting. In our marketing team, they work hard. You know, they take care of all that stuff, and we got a legit team approach. It's like having the best military basketball on the planet.
Wow.
And that's how we operate. So we don't have no individual agendas.
Wow.
None whatsoever.
As I'm looking at you, Reg, I'm looking at that shoe collection back there, man. It's a lot of young cats, man. Love shoes, man. Talk about your shoe game, man. That shoe game back there is rough, man. It's tough.
Well, like I say, like I told you in the beginning, grew up 30 cents from a quarter, and didn't always have on nice shoes.
Right.
So, I don't drink, live. I don't smoke. I don't do nothing. So this became my vice. Everybody got a vice. They got some type of vice. And I just always wanted to have nice shoes because I remember that's the first thing girls talked about. You had some raggedy shoes. Mm-hmm. They went in on you. Boy, they're talking about the boy that wear raggedy shoes. So I said, man, when I'm able and I'm in a good position, I'm finna step my shoe game up. And then, you know, I fell in love with Jordan. And that's how I did. I got my dress shoes nice too now. That's upstairs.
That's a lot of Jordans back there.
Yeah. I got, like I said, my theme in here is 365 MJ Boulevard.
Wow.
So them all different kind of Jordans?
All Jordan.
Jordan got 365 different kind of pair of Jordans?
No,
they Jordan shoes, dude.
They all Jordan shoes, but I got different colors,
different
styles, and you know the one, you know, he 1 through 34 right now.
Right. You got the Jumpman.
Different Jordan. Yeah, they got 34 different Jordans. Okay, for each year, and you know, I'm see if I can show y'all a little bit around.
Let's see.
Can you see up there? Start up here.
Oh damn! You can still lick the bottom on them, Liv.
Look, go all down here.
Man, Reg, you put that stuff on online, boy, you make a killing.
Man, ain't on that though.
I know.
See, my man Gil built my shoe racks.
Oh, okay.
Look over here. My Kobe Bryant jersey that I got at the game.
Oh, man.
You see them Don C's with that red box.
Yep.
That's them hand woven plush leather right there, baby. Right over here.
Wow. Wow. Man, Reggie, boy, you clowning.
My daughter made that little Jordan logo thing for her in her art class.
Oh, right.
Yeah. That's
wow. That is cool.
Jordan socks. Jordan socks. There's all Jordans over here, all down here. Jordan hats. Closet.
Man, we gotta let Jordan know you endorsing him, man.
Man, he needs to. Man, listen, man. I'm looking for Jordan daytime.
We gotta tell Jordan he endorsing Jordan. Man, Jordan need to sponsor All Ball Chicago too, man.
I was thinking about that earlier today, man.
Man, I don't even mind paying Liv. Just give me a little discount and make me. I don't want to have to go through all. You know, people down there get killed over trying to get yours, man. I'm 52. I ain't finna go stand in no line to get no Jordans on release date, man. I ain't that guy. So it's luckily I know a few people, so I can get them.
Right.
My Bobby Simmons was my client. He got his own shoe store, Success. So I usually
Shoe
go through
store, right?
Bobby.
Clothing line, shoe store, yeah.
Yeah. So I'll go through Bobby, and Vail, to get most of them. But some of them difficult to get. But I want them, and like I said, I don't mind paying.
So you don't wear none of them?
I wear them all. It's called a museum, but this really ain't no museum.
Oh, okay.
I wear all mine. I got a lot in here I haven't worn.
Wow.
Yeah, I have a lot in here I haven't worn, but I plan on wearing them.
Wow.
Yeah, and my boy Nico, I gotta get my boy Nico from Nike.
Nico Harris, that's my man.
Cause Nico look out for me every now and then. I try not to bug him, but man, that man come through for me. Anytime I ask, I don't think he ever told me no, unless he just didn't have it. But that's right. I don't give him a shout out. He good people.
He is, man. Nico is good people. You're right. He is, man. But man, Reggie,
I feel bad for him.
I know, man, with that situation. Yeah.
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 Hey, let me ask you a question before we cut. You ready to wrap it up, Lid?
No.
I just wanted to ask you a question before you get out of here. With the nature of everything that's going on, with the players being in the bubble and all of that stuff, what's the general consensus around the NBA? They said the regular season is supposed to start in November, right back, right?
No, December.
December.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm here in December. First of all, like I said before, I don't know if it's because I got a nice TV, but I think the NBA has done an unbelievable job of showing these games where it almost look and sound normal.
Right.
Now, I know I'm not there playing, and the players are there playing without the crowd, but the sound effects and the production and everything that they've done thus far is sensational in my eyes. Now, I understand that, in order for the revenue to get back to normal or get back the same, they gotta have fans at the games again. So I probably, I kind of can see them structuring the arenas where the seating is, social distance outside of your group.
Mm-hmm.
And they're probably gonna raise the ticket prices. But in the meantime, I think they making up some of the revenue with these commercials and advertisements. If you pay attention, like all the commercials and advertisements, they all brand new. I haven't seen an old repeat commercial since I've been watching. So I'm thinking the advertisement, probably is at a premium right now. And I think that's how they're gonna kind of cut grass with the revenue. Now it ain't gonna be the same without the fans, and because you think about a game, an NBA game, the whole production with the vendors, food, liquor, apparel, like people that got jobs outside the arena, in the arena, that's a lot of revenue that's generated, and I guess we got to find a way, some type of way to get that back to normal. But of course, health and our safety is first. But I think the NBA thus far has done a really good job of giving them guys a platform and a safe haven so far to participate again and do their jobs, or finish this season, and then we'll take baby steps to see what's next.
Man, I'm loving watching it, man. It's like, I know I'm missing some games right now because we doing our show, but I'm loving it, man. Watching, I just love watching basketball. I know people like, well, I'm like, what are you talking about? When you at home watching TV, you ain't worried about no fans.
Yeah.
I want to see some hoopers, man.
Yeah.
I want to see some
They
hoopers,
calling that
man,
bubble. They say that's the shooter's bubble, Lib.
Oh, yeah, it's just like AAU.
Some guys shooting good that they couldn't shoot before.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They say the lighting and all of that is helping with them dudes, man. And it's
Yeah,
a
man.
super bubble. They call
And the background. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not far, so the depth is
Yeah.
not
right.
too deep. So yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
could you imagine Steph
Now see, you gotta be a shooter to understand that.
Curry and
You know
Clay?
what I'm saying?
Man, they
See,
would be killing
that
in
went
that.
over a lot of people's head. They were like, what the
Hey,
background or
Reggie,
the depth got to
or
do with anything?
haven't played on one of those
Yeah,
floors.
Right.
We ain't never
Exactly.
did. I ain't never been
yeah,
on the
Yeah.
NBA floor.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
one
The
time.
only fans in the ceiling, homie.
right, right. But man, Reggie, man, it's always a pleasure having you on, man, and we definitely want you to come back too.
Yeah.
What they talking about with the draft though, Reg? Uh,
Well, I can tell you this from our side of things. Of course, all my rookies super anxious. Okay. But we've made sure that they've had a respectable trainer or player development, strength and conditioning guy in their hometown. Um, Tim Anderson and Ryan Thompson, they run my pre-draft program. So they
okay,
exchange dialogue with these trainers in these different cities, and they, just pretty much give them the answers to the test, let them know what they want to see players do, and so on and so forth, and then they get a chance to do the things, uh, work on the things that they need to work on in case this thing opens back up. They'll be ready to go. But if
okay,
not, what we're going to do is we're going to call teams. For example, this example, I call Chicago, Milwaukee, and Indiana, and I say, okay, what do you want to see Marcus Liberty do? We
right,
want to see his corner three. We want to see his floaters off the dribble, and we want to see his athleticism.
okay,
So let's hypothetically speaking, each team say they want to see one thing. So we put together a workout, and we're gonna live stream it versus just recording it. And if I record it, it can be
you can
modified.
edit,
I can show you making every shot. And if
right,
you do something crazy or ridiculous, I'm not gonna send that. I'd be an idiot to send
right.
that.
But
I'd be an
live,
idiot to send that. But
right,
we're gonna live stream it, and then we're gonna say, okay, you wanted to see this? Indiana wanted to see this? Here you go. Detroit, you want to see this? Here you go. Chicago, you want to see this? Here you go. Milwaukee, you want to see this? Here you go. So Marcus will go out there, do all the things we worked on that week, and then we'll do it again with maybe 3 or 4 other teams. So
mm-hmm,
that was just our idea of how we can showcase this guy. It's a lot more work, and we might have more teams on. Depends on how it goes, but we thought to live stream it would be better than modifying a video and sending it in.
Real.
Even though the video will work, if that's what we got to do, that's what we got to do. But we want to do it that way to have a better effect, so you can see the improvement of these guys.
And if they do have a draft, what month are they talking about doing the draft? If you recall.
September, October.
Okay. Okay.
Yep, September, October.
Uh,
So the date's been changing a little bit. So we'll see.
yeah.
We'll see. But I'm definitely, I think we're gonna take a. You might have to do it like NFL did. Virtual
Right. Yeah.
draft.
Yeah.
You might have to do it that way. And then as you look on from a monetary standpoint, the draft is expensive, even to take the players through that. So we'll save money. The NBA will save money by not having a draft and risking safety or whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
And it won't be as expensive if they do it this way. So you kind of, have a different monetary balance. If
Right.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Most
But
definitely.
Reggie, before we go,
Yeah.
this is really important because you are a sports agent, and I think you can give some sound, solid advice to some kids that's trying to get into the game, trying to make it to the next level. what kind of advice would you give, some of our listeners who may have a kid, who may have a nephew, may have a son, whoever it may be? What kind of advice would you give them to help prepare them for whatever level they're trying to reach?
Okay, I'm gonna give you what goes up and down at the same time. Rob, you can chime in too.
What goes up and down at the same time? Yep. I wasn't really prepared for this one, man.
Yeah.
Hey, it ain't no big deal. No one I asked the question got it right yet.
Right, yeah, because I don't know that.
Right.
Stairs go up and down at the same time. Okay. Mm-hmm. So I advise all players to take the stairs because that elevator ain't for everybody. Mm. You closed in and you get right to the floor you want to go to in a short period of time. But if you take the stairs, you worked your tail off to get to the top. And there's a different experience on every floor. There's a different lesson on every floor. So when you put in all that work, you put in all that time, first of all, you got to have confidence. Mm-hmm. You got to be able to apply the things you've done to the court. Now, it's a difference between being arrogant and confident. Arrogance destroys all your hard work. Mm-hmm. But when you work hard and you take those stairs, you got the right to be confident and be proud. And you want to experience everything possible on each floor on the way to the top. And that's how life is, up and down, like stairs. And so is a professional career. There are going to be a bunch of ups and downs throughout your career. And if you on the stairs, you just simply go back down and come back up. Go back down and come back up. Now, that elevator might break down. But if you take the stairs, you're going to appreciate it. You're going to know you did it yourself. Not by yourself, but you're going to know you took that route. And you're going to know you worked hard to get up there. So I tell them, take the stairs.
The stairs.
That's real. That's real.
My man. That's real, and we have to end on that one, baby. That was real talk there, Reg. And I hope some of our parents and our listeners, man, take heed to that and understand that, sometimes you don't have to get on that elevator. Sometimes you need to take the stairs, and check out the scenery. Understand what it's all about, life, because everybody can get that quick fix. But can you take your time and walk up those stairs and understand what's the process, what it looks like, what it feels like? Yep. I like that, man.
Yeah, great. Don't take the aspirin. Aspirin don't cure nothing. It just provides temporary relief.
That's right.
Don't take the aspirin.
So we have my main man, Reggie Brown, on joining us here, man, on All Ball Chicago with Priority Sports. Been putting it down for 20 plus years in the game. In the agency game, basketball, and been doing it and been doing a great job, man. We appreciate you, Reggie, man, joining us on All Ball Chicago. Robert.
Oh, I was just finna say shout out to them damn shoes, man.
Hey,
nice meeting you, Reggie Brown, man.
Give some shots out because somebody said let me just put this
on his mind too, Liv. I got 3 sons, man. They named Reed. I'm like LeVar Ball. I'm trying to push my sons, so keep an eye out for that name. There ain't none of them ready for the pros right now, though. So
listen,
they take the stairs.
Somewhere. You gotta start somewhere. Make sure they're on the stairs. If they're on the stairs, I'm gonna get them. I stay on the stairs.
So you had somebody, Ricardo Coleman, say what's up, guys. James Cox, Go Hayes, Sean Higgins, say what's up. Terry Sampson, LeVar.
Greg Thomas said what's up, Reggie.
Wow.
Yeah. So man, you got
my boy Marcellus call you Shake too. They call you Shake for real, huh?
MC Marcellus Brown.
Yeah,
I told you
Marcellus,
that.
man. I'm my man. We went to Mendel together.
Oh, you went to Mendel. Oh,
I
that's
went to
my man.
Mendel for 1 year.
MC grandmama used to stay around the corner from our house on Gladys. Man, that's
Oh,
my
okay.
man.
Right.
Yeah, that's my
So
man.
I see you like Liv. Everybody your man. No,
That's right.
Kid.
Yeah,
Liv know everybody, man.
Village, man. Village. Just takes a
That's
village,
right.
man.
Well,
Hey, small world, big alley.
That's right.
Alley huge.
That's what's up, boy.
Man, Reggie, man, we enjoyed this one, man. We enjoyed this one, man. This is
I'm
another
glad
good one,
y'all
man,
had
and
me
we
on,
appreciate
man. You know, I got excited. I saw, a couple of y'all things. I said, man, I gotta be on there, Liv.
That's right.
Yeah, I gotta
That's
talk
right.
to Legend Liv.
Yeah, man, my man Reggie, man. We played in some of those pro-ams together, shooting them down.
Yeah,
Reggie, I get a ball to Reggie. Reggie pulling up from half court, like, bam. And all net, man. So when you have an agent that played the game and understands the game, it makes it that much easier for you to join the team, man. So I'm definitely gonna be hitting you up, Reg, and
I'm still coming after your nephew. Tell him I ain't going nowhere.
I know you are. I know you are. And he right in your backyard now. So
I already know.
Yeah, man. So
tell him I'm coming. I'm be on Stalker Boulevard. I'm be there.
My man, you know that, man. We gonna keep in touch too, man, for sure.
What's up, man?
Okay, for sure.
And
Rob, nice meeting you, man. SWAC brother in the building.
Nice meeting you, Reggie
let's see what we can do for young fella too, Jeremy Richard.
All right, man. Hit me up about that, man.
All right, my man.
To do whatever I can.
Okay, I got you.
All right.
Yep, I got you.
God bless you, Reggie.
Love you, bro.
You too, man. Love.
Gone. Yep. We just was, man, we was going, man. And Reggie, he let us know right up the top that he's long-winded. But it was about him anyway. It wasn't about us, So we wanted him to talk. So
that was a great show, bro.
That was good, man. Good.
I mean, very informative. And what I learned the most is he took the stairs. He took the stairs himself.
Yeah.
He was 30 cents short of a quarter.
Yeah.
He talking about he had them shoes like I did with the hole in the front. You be talking to somebody and the sock hanging out. So you got
everybody had to do
that mug back up in there. Put some cardboard in that joint.
Dude, I remember hooping, and it was raining outside. When it rained and it stops, you go out there and hoop. That hole in the bottom of your shoe and that sock pop out, and it gets soggy and wet, and I just tuck it back. I tuck it back in there, and I keep hooping.
And you tuck it between your big toe and the other toe.
Man,
right?
come on, dude. I'm out there hooping. So if you didn't hoop like that, then something was wrong, man. Back in the days, that's how we used to do it. You only had one pair of shoes. One pair of shoes, man.
If you ain't had no hole in your shoe, you wasn't hooping. I'm sorry.
You wasn't hooping.
My mama couldn't keep up.
You wasn't hooping, man. Those were the days.
Guys Network, boy. Shout out, boy.
Oh man. I know. I'm tired now.
We got Russell Cross.
Russell Cross.
We got George Montgomery coming up. So 2 big guys. We got
big guys. Man. Russell Cross was West Side Manly High School, Corliss High School, Big George. I mean, it's all about Chicago, man. We represent Chicago.
That's crazy.
Get a platform for our listeners to understand where these guys came from. A lot of times we don't even know. A lot of people don't even know certain people actually came. I got to get my man on here too, man. St. Anthony, man, from played at Phillips High School. He lives in Hawaii now, so we're going to reach out to him too, man. He was a bad boy at Phillips High School, man. So try to get him on too. And our Frederick Hughes, man.
Tried to plug us with Tony Bennett.
Tony Bennett, we got to get Tony, Mr. I think they call him Mr. 30.
We get our Frederick.
No, but
hey,
Bennett.
I reached back out to one of the guys.
Who?
You said what, Liv?
No, I said, but Bennett was a bad boy, man. I think he's still giving people buckets back home in Chicago. So yeah, we definitely got to get him on too. We definitely got to get him on.
So next week gonna be like Legends Week. You're gonna have Russell Cross, Frederick Hughes, and George Montgomery. Come on, man. You going back to the 70s, baby.
Yeah, man, we got to try to get Al Frederick. I reached out to him, and he reached out. I got to get his info so he can come on, man. Come on, Al Frederick. Hit that inbox.
Man.
Give me your email so we can get this going. My brother, Robeson High School, your Robeson Raiders. They want to hear from you. Loyola want to hear from you.
Like Chicago, we're approaching 50 shows, man. We're at number 44. So we're going to have an ugly mashup, man. All Ball Chicago. I'm your co-host, Robert Bobby Reed. And I got the legend, the NBA veteran, the McDonald All-American, your host, Marcus Liberty. What you finna be on? I know you're doing the George Mike and drill.
Man, it's time for me to unlace the shoes.
Chicago, this was for y'all, man. Much love. I'm up out of here. Your boy, Robert Bobby Reed. Peace.
Peace. Holla.